Part 2 will cover envelope generator, keyboard rate scaling, output level, and key velocity sensitivity. We will look into envelope generator in detail. Press buttons 21 and 22 and use operator select to check an envelope for each operator. The table shown here is a summary of envelope data. You can quickly glance and see that operators 3 and 5 have the same envelope. Operators 4 and 6 have the same envelope. Overall, envelopes are very similar. They have fast attack, reaching maximum quickly. They have a medium to slow decay at rate 2 with higher decay level at level 2. All envelopes slowly decay at rate 3 and reaches to level 3, which is 0. When a key is released, it has medium to fast rate 4, which reaches 0 at level 4. So, there is no sustained sound after key release. As you noticed, towers 2 and 3 have the same envelopes. We can graphically represent the envelopes for better understanding. For operator 1, its envelope has fast attack at maximum level. It has 2 slow decays at rate 2 and rate 3. Note that level 2 is set to 75, so this creates a prominent attack tone from level 1, 99, to level 2, 75. The main decay is controlled by rate 3, which is 25, as level 3 is set at 0, slowly decaying to level 3. For operator 2, its envelope is similar. It has fast attack at the maximum level. Also, level 2 is set at 75, giving a prominent attack tone. But rate 2 is set at 50, which is much faster than that of operator 1 envelope. Then, rate 3 is set at 35, which is a bit faster again. The overall operator 2 envelope moves a bit faster than that of operator 1. This is usual, as you often set carrier envelope slower and modulator envelope faster. Also remember that the modulator envelope is the one that produces the main metallic tone. That means you need to create a sharper and prominent attack using the modulator. For operators 3, 4, 5, and 6, their envelopes are very similar to each other. They have fast attack with a maximum level. They have a slow decay at rate 2 and the level 2 is set at 95. This is to have a minimum amount of attack tone. They slowly decay to level 3, which is 0. Their main purpose is to produce a sustained sound, not necessarily a sharp attack tone. You can pause here to do self-learning tutorials. Turn operators 1 and 2 only. Select operator 1 and change rate 2 up from 25, 35, 45, and 55. How do these changes affect the overall tone? Put operator 1 rate 2 back to 25. Select operator 2 and change its rate 2 up from 50, 60, 70 to 80. How do these changes affect the overall tone? Once completed, put rate 2 back to 50. Select operator 1 and change level 2 to 85 and 95. How do these changes affect the overall tone? Put operator 1 level back to 75. Select operator 2 and change level 2 to 85 and 95. How do these changes affect the overall tone? When you create an envelope that you like, you can always copy its data to each operator using an egg copy function. Now, we will look into other priority parameters. Press buttons 26, 27, and 28 and use operator select to go through each operator. Keyboard rate scaling determines how fast an envelope moves from rate 1 to rate 4 based on the key position. All operators are set at 3, which is a medium level, so there is some shortening of envelopes at higher notes. Output level determines the level of modulation for modulators and volume for carriers. All operators seems to have enough output level, except for operator 2. It's set at 58, which is quite low for a modulator. Key velocity sensitivity controls the amount of volume for carriers and modulation for modulators based on the speed of a key pressed. Note that carrier operators 1 and 3 are set at 2, but operators 5 is set at 0. So there is an inconsistency in setting up key velocity sensitivity. Let's revise what we've learned so far. The famous DX7 electric piano uses algorithm 5, which has 3 independent towers. Tower 1 used for producing the main metallic tone. Tower 2 and 3 are detuned to give a chorusing effect. Tower 2 and 3 have the same envelopes. Tower 1 is for the sharp metallic attack tone. Keyboard rate scaling is applied at medium level for all operators. Output levels are adequate except for operator 2, which is quite low for a modulator. Key velocity sensitivity is applied except for operator 5. You can pause this video for self-learning tutorials. Turn operators 1 and 2 only. Adjust output level of operator 1 down to 70, 50, 30, and 0. How do these changes affect the overall tone? Put operator 1 output level back to 95. Select operator 2 and change its output level down to 40, 30, 20, and 0. How do these changes affect the overall tone? Repeat the same process for operators 5 and 6. How do these changes affect the overall tone? You can also check other parameters such as LFO and see how they are set. Note that some of those parameters have not been used for the electric piano patch. If you need to revise, please do so before proceeding to the next tutorial session. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. For the next tutorial, we will look into the sound design of another famous DX7 electric piano patch, FullTines.